technically, I shouldn't be doing this because I'm basically giving him what he wants. And now it's come to the point where if I'm talking about Kanye, it's low hanging fruit. So, but I just want to say this and get this off to my chest, and then because I'm not going to bring him up on the podcast. If you think I'm going to talk about him on the podcast, I'm not. Um, I want people, and I know I've said this many times, but I don't think I ever made it a solid video on this channel that hopefully people will just listen to. If you're one of those people who goes, I miss the old Kanye, I want people to understand that this has always been Kanye. Even when he was conscious, this has always been Kanye. Kanye has always been loud, always been arrogant. He speaks his mind. He says whatever the fuck you want. He does whatever the fuck you want. This has always been Kanye. All right. Now I know, like, people would want him to go back to make albums like Graduation or The Life of Pablo, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is my favorite Kanye album. Um, Graduation second. This has always been Kanye. It's like if anybody understand, and as a Gemini, and I know a lot of dudes are just like, oh Lord, they rolled their R's when I said as Gemini. But a Gemini knows a Gemini. Like, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. A Gemini knows a Gemini, and we see Kanye act like this all the time. I think a lot of Geminis understand Kanye. If you're into zodiacs, this is straight, Gemini behavior with Kanye. I'm sorry, brothers. I know y'all don't like that zodiac sign, pseudoscience shit, but like I said before, if you ever met a Taurus, like they're like, I swear to God, they're all the same. If you ever met a Gemini, including myself, yes, we have our moments, but I swear to God, us Geminis know Geminis. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. Back to the PSA. Uh, Kanye has always been this way. It's just that now that he's on the other team, it looks bad. But when he was more conscious and talking about George Bush doesn't care about black people, he was doing these same antics. When he was running up on stage and saying Beyonce should have won Video of the Year over Taylor Swift, this is the same type of antics. When he's going on and then having these rants and then having these random tirades, he has always been like this. We have been seeing this for the past 20 years. I want to say it's 20 years. It's like the early 2000s when Kanye was firstly introduced, or almost 20 years. Kanye has always been like, the only thing is that he's always had a safety net, which was his mother. His mother was the proverbial safety net in his life. And I know I've said this speech a million times, but Kanye has always been Kanye. His mother was the proverbial safety net. His mother was also the person, like, if he goes too far out, his mother was able to pull him back in. Now that his mother is dead, I always felt like he's been looking for that proverbial safety net that most people, when they go off the edge, they try to have. But most people that don't have safety nets, they're just basically jumping out a window without a parachute. Or jumping out a plane without a parachute, if you want to say that. Kanye is the same way. Whether it is, and the thing is, he's tried to replace his mother with other safety nets, but there hasn't been as good because no one is going to love you unconditionally like your mother, and two, a lot of people are just not going to deal with your bullshit when you start bullshitting, and Jay Z is one of them. Jay Z, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, his proverbial safety net, his mother, and his mother died. It was Jay Z, maybe Dame Dash at one point, but yes, Jay Z because he was so loyal to him. At one point, Beyonce was his proverbial safety net. Donald Trump was his proverbial safety net. Kim Kardashian has been his safety net many of times, helping him get that man out of debt one time, and then got richer and then became a billionaire. She was the, to me, even above Hov, she was the second best safety net that Kanye has had since his mother died, because I think she really did love him. I really did. I think she really did love Kanye. She had like 3 or 4 kids with him. So, um, Say what you want to say about that. I think she still loves him, but it's Kanye. It's just like Kanye can could be a lot to deal with. And last but not least, God. Are you putting now as a like? Are you really putting Kim Kardashian over God as a proverbial safety net? And the only reason I am because I don't think he really took religion that seriously. I, like don't get me wrong. I'm not putting anybody over God. I'm not saying like that, but I felt like he was more or less using God than walking his faith. And I'm not not going anybody that has that journey with God, but he's obviously excuse me, he's obviously not on that no more. Whatever he was, he's not on that no more. And then when you look at his new what he doing to his new wife, who I think is, and I said it before, I think it's just a way for him to knock at white supremacy. Is like going after the white woman. It's like, look what I can do to this white woman. I can make this white woman do as much. It's like I feel like he's doing it just to piss off white people. It's just like making this white woman do whatever you want. I talked about that in the last video. And I'm pretty sure white supremacy doesn't fucking care. It's like I've been doing this for like ever. White supremacy looking like, Kanye, what you ain't doing is new. I've been doing that to white women. Well, I said, if anything, they like doing it to black women, but they've been mostly doing that to white women forever. It's like what you doing is nothing under the sun, my child, my little nigga, and that's how I feel like white supremacy is looking at it. Um, but Kanye, the thing is, Kanye was always this way, loud, arrogant. But I feel like as black people, we loved it because he was on our side, and he was very on his pro-black. And then, but the science, he's always like, I think Charlamagne said it best. He has this affirmation with white people because he was the one that's rocking white people stuff like the pink polos and the Ralph Lauren's. And you remember the whole thing where he was arguing with Sway and the whole that ain't Ralph though, that ain't Ralph. Like he was just like he was mad he couldn't get in. And Sway was like, why don't you just make your own fucking clothes, or why don't you just do your own thing? And he was like, how Sway, how Sway, and then fucking did what Sway fucking told him. Then years later, do it what fucking Sway told him to do, and then the whole Yeezy line. Now you have the whole Yeezy lines where, excuse me, where people are dressing like homeless bums. Now, the one thing about Kanye is, and I say this all the fucking time, and this is a redeeming value, is that you're not going to, if you tell him no, he is going to try to prove you wrong. He is going to tell you, I'm going to do this, and you're not going to fucking stop me. Who the fuck can stop me? That's the most intriguing part about Kanye, in my opinion, because he doesn't let people stop. Like they told him he couldn't be a rapper, he was a rapper. They probably said he couldn't win a Grammy, he won a Grammy. They probably said he wouldn't be a fashion designer, he's a fashion designer. So everything Kanye done put his mind to, like he's damn near done. Even though he ran for president, he didn't win. But the fact that he got a real good amount of votes, not nothing to change the fucking scenery, but the fact that he did get all those votes, that's a win for him. And I tell people all the time, that is a win for Kanye because you got a lot of these people say, fuck that, I'm voting for Kanye West. Kanye knew he wasn't going to win, but the fact that he ran for president and he got that much votes, it's just like, oh my fucking God. I remember seeing it too. It's just like, nigga, Kanye got how many votes? Really? Damn. I can't remember the exact number, but I know Kanye got some votes that even surprised people. It's like, y'all really was voting for Kanye. But I digress. Black people. And this is what I'm talking mostly black people. I'm pretty sure most of his fans are white fans. Is probably sick of the same shit, but at the same time don't really fucking care because he's going after the Jewish community, and I know the Jews is not liking that right now. And as hard headed, as determined as he is, his hard headedness is going to be his downfall. I said that too. Sometimes Kanye's hard headedness is going to be downfall, the way he went from a billionaire to a millionaire. So I would like to take that how you want. But in conclusion, I don't think this nothing going to change Kanye at all. I feel like he still be that arrogant son of a bitch that either you love or hate. I feel like he still want to be that arrogant son of a bitch that if you teach a move, he'll feel like he can do it better than you. Um, I just want people to understand that what what it's Kanye. There's nothing you can do about it because Kanye's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants. There's no stopping him. And if you stop him, he's gonna do it twice as hard. So to me, it's like I would say the best option is to not deal with them at all. But I feel like he's going to get something dealt with that. Okay, okay. I'm sorry, brain freeze. Yeah, that Kanye is going to, if you, I can speak. I'm sorry. Kanye is going to do whatever the fuck he wants, and no one is going to tell him otherwise. As long as he's out here breathing, as long as he's out here doing whatever, he is going to do whatever the fuck he wants and not show you the consequences. And that's how I feel about Kanye. And that is my talk. Let me know what you ladies feel about Kanye. Until then, my name is Mosquito Fly, and I am out. Peace.